Hello friends, this is your Trendline Investor providing the Nifty outlook and the Trading with Trendline Investor series for the 26th of July 2021. So as usual, this video would be divided into two parts. One is the Nifty daily outlook for the day, and the second half would be Trade with Trendline Investor series. So if you're looking only for the Trade with Trendline Investor series, then you can directly head to the second part. Otherwise, you can continue watching this video. For people who are new to my channel, the Trade with Trendline Investor series is a positional trading series where I trade with a starting capital of 1 lakh, and I will be sharing my trades and also all the learnings on a regular basis, on a daily basis in fact. I'm sure you'll find this useful, and if you haven't joined me yet, do join me and let's learn together. So let's jump into the first part, which is the Nifty outlook for today. Now, in this section, I'll be covering what happened to markets in the previous session, what are the key learnings, if there are any learnings from the previous session, my market view for today, which will include the long plan and the short plan. So what happened to markets in the previous session? So we had another gap up on Friday, and there was a quick sell-off in the first 15 minutes. But later, actually, Nifty consolidated for some time, and then we started to head higher, before Nifty broke the short-term trend line, and actually Nifty came down. So this was the short-term trend line that we have broken, and we retested that trend line here, and then we have come down. But our plan was actually to go long, above 1845. So that was a plan to go long because this was a closed previous session. And then on Friday, we said we'll go long above 15845, but we opened at 15857. And if you had actually gone long here, your stop would have been around 15767, which was a 190 point stop. Now that was too deep, right? So instead of going long at open directly, one could have gone long after this price contraction over here, and you could have actually made some money. Now, if you see here, this is a beautiful contraction. So from here, so we had a drop of 0.6%, and then we had a drop of around 0.36%. The drop reduced almost by half, right? And then we had another drop here by 20 points. So there was a proper contraction, and we should have gone long above 15846 or even 850 over here, right? You could have made some decent gains, or you could have exited here around this point. So that is something which you could have done, and you could have made some decent gains. But the short-term trend for now has turned from up to down. So we were up, right? And now this trend line has been broken, and we broke below this swing low. It's not a major swing low, but I'd still call it a trend line break and a swing low break. So short-term trend is right now down. However, I feel that Nifty is now, actually trending in a parallel upward channel. So if you take this, and if you just connect these points, and if you extend this towards the left and right, you would see we are probably trending in this parallel channel, right? And now any dips towards the lower end of the channel can actually be used, and you could bought. So if you see here, we kind of had resistance around this point, but now we are coming down, and we are probably heading somewhere here. And if we head here, then it's a very good opportunity to go long. So what's the learning from yesterday? When the stop is pretty deep, especially at open, do not take a trade in intraday, since the risk reward is not really in our favor. And you don't have to trade every day. Remember, it's okay to trade even 50% of the trading days, and you'll still make money. It is completely okay to miss some days. So wait for a consolidation before you go long or short. So that's the key learning. Now, what's my view for today? So let's look at the long plan and the short plan, both sides. So if you're holding shorts, then you should be probably, trailing your stop at this point here, which is around 15900 levels. And otherwise, first the long plan, or any dip towards 15775, 800 around this point, so any dips around this area, right, around the trend line tomorrow can be used to go long, and you can keep a stop at around 15765. But if we gap down tomorrow morning directly at 15770, which is also a very strong reversal zone, then that will be a fantastic opportunity to go long if we gap down tomorrow morning, right? Now, reason is because we are trending in a parallel channel, and tomorrow if we reverse from this side, that will be also confirmed, and that will be very good confirmation. So if we gap down towards 15770, and if you form a green candle in the first 15 minutes, then also you can go long. Otherwise, the short plan is if we gap up towards 15860 around here, which is this trendline resistance, right? So if you gap up somewhere here tomorrow, then probably you can go short, but that would be a very good risk reward trade, and you can short with 5900 as stop loss. So that's my Nifty analysis, friends, for today. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then do share it with your friends and for people especially who are intraday traders. Now let's jump on the second part of this video, which is the most interesting part, and I'm sure most of you are waiting for that part, which is the Trade with Trendline Investor series. So again, for people who are new to my channel, we'll be taking a quick look at the trades in Zerodha and what is the current status, and a quick look at the charts for the stocks that we are holding and any stocks in our watch list. And we'll also review a trading journal and update the stop loss if needed. And we'll also see if there are any new entries or exits if we have to take any. Okay, so just looking at the holdings. So we have a cash of 7,972 rupees. So that's also mentioned here. So we have a cash of around 8%, and our holdings right now is around 91,295. But how is the sheet looking like, or how is the trades looking like? So we have Apar Industries where there is an event, and we have like 30% of a 1 lakh. Now, even if you go up 10% from here, we make another 3,000 rupees more, so it'll be 5,000. But let's not count the PNL. The PNL is not what matters. What matters is your risk. So don't look at this profits. As of today, if our stop hits, we'll still be losing the amount. We'll not be getting this amount. So this is unrealized profit. So never look at the unrealized profits and be happy. You can be happy, but you do know that your stop loss can be hit. Then we have Fact, Tata Steel Bhushan Limited, Kansai Nerolac, Shridik Cement, and Jubilee India. Now, all these stocks are in like 1 or 2% loss, but we do have some good positions. 15% position size is very good. But whereas in Kansai Nerolac, we have 11,000, here around 10% position size, and here around 8% position size. So that's how it looks. Now let's jump into the charts for today. So we have Apar Industries, which has given a beautiful breakout. The chart looks fantastic, as I showed you before. So if you see, this is a long-term downtrend which kind of broke out here, and then the stock went all the way up, and then it kind of corrected and retested this support zone here, right? So we had a retest, and then this is where we caught this trade, and this is kind of going up, right? And we also had this trend line support. Now you see, we had a very low risk trade, and we already took Shakti pumps. Now I was expecting Shakti pumps to go like this, but Shakti pumps came back down here. Right now, I'm going to remove all the lines. I'm just going to focus on 2 lines in this chart, right? So I'm going to focus on this uptrend, and I'm going to focus on this breakout which we had, and I'm also going to focus on this point over here. Now, if you remember, we entered somewhere around this point or this point on this day or this day, and the reason I gave is that a trend line retest is complete. The trend line retest over here is complete, and then stock is heading higher. And then you see, we had this nice short inverted head and shoulders over here, right? And then this was a breakout, and we added it on the 30th of July, right? So we added on 13th of July here, right? Now the reason why I added was because we had a breakout here, right? And that breakout was combined with volumes. So when you have a breakout with the volumes, that should give you confidence to take the trade, because here the stop loss was just 530, right? Initial stop loss, if you see here, was around 5. Yeah, I think we raised it to 550, but it was at 530 initially, right? And then we had a dip down, and I said this was retest, and I also said this was retest, and then we had a move up here again, right? And then what we did, we had a first position on 13th of July, and then I kept a GTT right above this point. Now, why did I keep at that point? You should notice that in the last 5 days, we had rejection around that point. So I knew that if you're going to cross this, then probably we are going to have a quick move up. And that's the reason I had kept the GTT at that point, right? And then we had a good move on Friday. Now, this is all a game of probability, right? Now, no one knows whether this will continue to head higher, or no one knows where it will come down, right? Now, for now, the probability is on the long side. The setup looks amazing, and that's why we are adding more to this position. And also mentioned that we will not add more than 30%. Now, there might be, sometimes I might go even to 50% of the allocation just to catch that last quick move in the trade. But for that, I need to be deep in profits. Unless I'm not good in, right now, I have a loss of 1,000. So I'm not in profit still. Once I'm in very good profits, then I might think of adding one last position to probably get it to 40% or 50%, and that will be my last. But I don't usually go about 30%. But for now, the trade looks good. We had a beautiful breakout on Friday, and you see everyone on Twitter is now talking about Apar Industries, and we are ahead of many of them because we entered it before the breakout happened. So there's no updates on Apar Industries, so we will continue to keep our stop around 550. So the stop was around 550 here, so that's why update is stopped to 550, and we will keep this and we will trail this higher. So for now there's no update. So fact, again, there is not a significant update, but if you just look at the weekly charts, we are forming another doji week. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of doji, and we are still right above this point over here, right? So I still feel that this is right above that resistance, just consolidating, right? It's all getting absorbed, I feel, and the volumes have dipped again, and this is one of the lowest volumes. It's, around 1 million shares have been traded. The last time we had such lowest volumes was in the month of March. So selling is literally almost complete, I feel, and we should start heading higher as quick as soon as possible. Okay, so that's the line I'm looking at, right? So next is Tata Steel Bhushan Limited. Again, a doji, again, nice contraction, and I also feel that this is going to move higher soon. So no updates over there yet, and our stop loss continues to remain the same, no revision in stop loss. Now Jubilant Ingrea, right? So we had a nice breakout again here, right? So above the all-time high, we had a nice breakout, and we added it around 630 is when we added it. Right now it's 629.55. Now I'm just looking at the short-term charts because we are trading for short-term gains, probably a few weeks to few months. I'm just looking at opportunities where I can add the stock as soon as possible before it heads much higher. So right now, if you see, we had this breakout on 22nd of July, and then 23rd of July we had a nice gap up in the morning, and then we started heading lower, but after 9:30 it did not go anywhere. And if you see, this is a nice support around this zone, and there is a nice resistance right at this point. So this is kind of a box, a Darvas box setup, or a rectangle setup, you might call it. Now I feel that this is again going to head higher around 10:30, 11 o'clock tomorrow, or even in the morning itself, but we are almost about to head higher again. Now some people might say this is probably inverted HNS. I might be, I don't know, but the last 15 minutes volumes looks good, and we had a green candle, and we just did a sideway correction after this correction from 22nd July. So what I'm going to do today is add my remaining amount that I have. 7972 rupees left. So I'm going to buy Jubilant Ingrea above 640, above this high. The high is 639.7 here, and here also if you see 639.9. So I'm going to have an order or a GTT above 640, and I'm going to trail my stop loss to 600. Now 600, you might ask why. So right now this candle low is 605, right? And we had this nice gap up above this highs, right? So this high was 611, sorry, this high here was around 611, and here there's a gap up, right? We had a gap up. So I'm going to keep my stop loss. So this is 605, so I'm just going to keep round it off and keep to 600 levels. So my new order, GTD order, would be for Jubilant Ingrea. I'm going to have 7972 is what I have, right? So I'm just going to calculate the shares. So 7972 divided by 640. So I can buy 12 shares of Jubilant Ingrea. So I'm going to place the so I'm going to place an order here of 12 shares at 640. Okay, let's assume 639 point. The trigger, I want the trigger to be placed at 609.75, and I'm okay to buy it at 640, right? So I'm going to place this order. I'm going to go here, okay, and my order is placed. Now what would be my stop loss? I said stop loss is 600, so I'm going to go to Jubilant Ingrea over here, and I'm going to edit that stop loss to 600. So probably 659.75. Okay, so once 600 hits, the order will get triggered, and then here the price, sorry, so we'll not set the GTD now. So right now the stop loss remains the same at at 555. Once the GTD gets triggered, then we'll place a stop loss here. So for now, yeah, that's the update on Jubilant Ingrea. So we place GTD, and let's see if it gets triggered tomorrow or not. Otherwise, the other stocks, Shridik Cement again had a breakout here. From this point we had a breakout, and it's kind of again retesting. So if you haven't bought Shridik Cement yet, 90 would be a good level to add Shridik Cement. Okay, then Kansai Nerolac, again, this is moving up. We had a good move. The breakout has already occurred, I feel. So breakout has already occurred, but we had a nice consolidation here. And then now this point is what we're looking at, and it kind of got rejected at this high. So if you see here, 631 is the level, 630.95, and here if you see the close was 624.75 here, right? So we've still not had a good move. Probably it's going to take some more time, but just look on the monthly charts what's happening. We are kind of heading higher. So this month, if we close above 610, then probably we're going to see a strong move higher. Right now, this is also, I see long term, it's trending a long term parallel channel, so I'm expecting a strong move here. So that's my view on Kanzai and Nerolac. Okay, so we've seen the charts, we've seen the trades that we have, and a trading journal. Right now we have a risk of entire 5%. So if we lose as of today, we still will be at 93,000. So I hope our trade of Apar Industries will take the markets higher. Also Shreedic Cement. I'm just going to update this. So as of today, what's the holdings? 91,295. So 91,295 plus our remaining balance, right? So we are at 99,267. So as of today, our portfolio account is 99,267. So that's the update, guys. So maybe we'll just look at a few more stocks. So India Cement still looks good. So Shakti Pumps is still at the support, but we did exit. So if you want to add Shakti Pumps, it's probably still a good time to add and take a trade. But we exited, so we look at it again probably if we want. Right now we are fully in cash. Sorry, we are fully invested, so we don't want to take the trade. India Cement also looks good, so you might want to look at that. We are talking about this. It didn't close above that level, so probably a good close above that would work well. SAIL also looks good. We had a good move on on Friday. But this level is where we want to close above this level, right? So the symmetrical triangle is kind of breaking out already, right? It just closed right below that symmetrical triangle, but we need to close above 130, then we can head higher. India Mart was one of the good green candles. Still we need to go above 7,500, then we might get some strong moves. Likita is just right around that support zone, so still the stock looks good, nothing wrong. Advanced Enzymes is right around that trend line. So this trend line here, right? So still there, so nothing to worry still yet. And Tata Power is kind of it has given a breakdown of this trend line, but we always look at the swing low. Swing low is 116.7, so that needs to be taken out. So I think that's it, guys, for today. I hope you like this video. If you did like this Trade with Trendline Investor series, where we talk about real risk management concepts and real trades, then do share it with your friends. That's the only thing I expect from you, nothing else. And if you did like this series, do let me know. And if you are taking trades, do let me know on Twitter so that others also can join us in this journey. Okay, thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.